Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, every month I pick a TBR that I try to get to throughout the month using my TBR jar. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. It's almost time to be thinking about October and we are going to be in the full swing of spooky season. So I'm really excited to see what prompts we'll get from the TBR jar. As per usual today, I'm going to draw 6 prompts from the jar, and we'll primarily pick books from my cart unless we absolutely have to look to my TBR shelves to fit the prompt. But I do try to pick from my cart because these are going to be my fall priority TBR. All right, let's go for our first prompt. Okay, and prompt number 1 is going to be a book with a non-human character. So let's see what we've got. I immediately know what I'm going to pick for this one. When I did my Summerween reading vlog, this was one of the books that I had on my tentative TBR for that video, and I've been looking for an excuse to read it since then. So we are going to do Someone You Can Build a Nest In as the first book on the October TBR, and I'm so excited for this one. It has to do with an alien or otherworldly being infiltrating someone's body and also kind of having a romance and trying to figure out what's going on because there's a little bit of a mystery and a rumor being spread that someone is murdering people, and it seems like the main character is possibly being framed for that. So really excited to get this back on the TBR for October. I'm definitely going to be reading this like right away this month. That was a great pull for October, by the way. Can we talk about how that was the perfect prompt for spooky season? All right, let's go with prompt number 2. Okay, prompt number 2 is a book with a pretty cover, which I love because I feel like that leaves it pretty much up to me. I really love this cover for Where the Dark Stands Still. I think this one's really pretty. That's actually what drew me to this book. I also do really like The Familiar. I know this probably isn't what you immediately think of for a pretty cover, but to me, I really love this, and I feel like it's got such a dark vibe to it. It really gives gothic, and I've been wanting to read this, so I would say that that's a contender. And maybe the last contender here will be The Spirit Bares Its Teeth. This one has a lot of reflective parts on it. I don't know if you can see that super well. I need to get these ugly stickers off of it, but I've always loved the cover art on this book. I think it's really pretty, and this is a sprayed edge edition, so that adds to it a little bit. So let's see, we've got Where the Dark Stands Still, The Familiar, and The Spirit Bares Its Teeth. And I think if I want to be as true as possible to the prompt, I personally think that Where the Dark Stands Still has the prettiest cover out of those 3. So that will be book 2 on our October TBR. All right, we are halfway through pulling prompt number 3. Ooh, okay, a book that became a TV show. As far as I know, none of these books on the shelf have become a TV show, which I could be totally wrong about. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me in the comments down below. But I honestly don't buy a lot of books that end up being TV shows or that have been adapted, or that TV shows have been made from. So I honestly don't see one immediately on my TBR shelf either, so I do think we're gonna have to veto this prompt, which I've never done in one of these videos. It will go back in the jar when I'm done, but I'm gonna veto this one and we'll pick another. All right, retry for prompt number 3. Oh, okay, I've got that my husband chooses, so I'm gonna save this one to the end, and I will have him come pick one off of the cart when I'm done with all my other selections. So that will be prompt 3. Let's go for prompt 4. Okay, a book with 500 plus pages. That's a doozy because I was hoping for a little bit of a lighter reading month, but let's see what we can do. I don't have a ton of huge books here on the cart, so I might have to pull one, but I do have one in mind if there isn't one here. I do have Babel, which I have kind of been putting off. Okay, this has over 500 pages, so this is definitely a contender. I honestly don't know if I have another book that's over 500 pages. Okay, it looks like Throne of the Fallen is over 500 pages. I don't really feel like I'm in the mood for this one though, oddly enough, so I think I'm gonna pass on that. I honestly think I would be hard pressed to find another book on here that is over 500 pages, and I've been wanting to read Babel before I read Catabasis, which I do also have. So honestly, I think this is just a sign that I need to finally read this. So it's gonna go on the October TBR. All right, we've got two more prompts. Okay, prompt number 5 is going to be a book of short stories, which I don't have one here, but I do have one, so I'll grab it. All right, so the book of short stories that I'm going to pick up is If It Bleeds by Stephen King, and this is actually perfect because I've already been planning to read quite a bit of Stephen King this month anyways, so I am super excited to have an excuse to read this one, and I have both this book and If You Like It Darker, but I'm pretty sure this comes earlier in his work or anthology if any of his books are related. I never know which ones are and which ones aren't. Obviously, I know some of his established trilogies, but just in case this one is related to any later stories, I want to do this one first. So, definitely excited about this. And I don't know if I accidentally said that was my 4th prompt, but it was technically my 5th one because we still have that prompt for Harris to come in and pick a book. So this will be the last one I'm going to draw, and then we'll have him come pick. Okay, and the last one is going to be a book written by an author with my initials, which I honestly don't know if I have one on here. Okay, I definitely don't have one on here, so don't be mad at me. This is going to be a second veto of the video, but again, I will put it back in the jar, and I'm sorry, I feel like today's video is a little bit crazy that we've had to have 2 vetoes, but I do really want to pick from these books specifically, so I will prioritize that over sticking with the jar. So we're going to pull one more, and we'll go with that. Okay, we're going to go with a book with a color in the title. So let's see what we've got. I've got Red Rabbit. That might be the only one. I genuinely don't think I have another book on here that has a color in the title, so I think we are gonna go with Red Rabbit for the last book on the physical TBR. So that will be book number 5, and then I'm gonna call Harrison here and have him pick one really quick. You can pick a book off of here unless there's something else that you like really want me to read.
I could go for a Brando Sando book.
Do you want me to read Warbreaker? Okay, can you hand it to me? Thank you much. I had a funny feeling that that was going to happen, but Harris has picked Warbreaker as the final book on the TBR, and Harris has finished reading The Cosmere, and he really wants me to catch up, so I'm not at all surprised by this. So let's just quickly go through all 6. So we've got Warbreaker, Red Rabbit, If It Bleeds, Babel, Where the Dark Stands Still, and Someone You Can Build a Nest In, which honestly, I'm really excited for all 6 of these. I think these are going to be perfect October reads, and that honestly couldn't have worked out better if I tried. Again, I'm sorry that I did have to veto those 2 prompts, but they did go back into the jar, so don't worry. We'll get back to them at another time. They just literally did not work with the books that I had on here for this month, so I'm really excited for these 6. Let me know what books you'll be getting to in October, or if you've read any of these. I would love to hear your thoughts about them. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!